Hey everyone, Mike Chaffee and Mr. Tyler Lau coming to you from Florida and North Carolina today for We Live Fantasy, Trucks and Xfinity breakdown for the Daytona Road course. The trucks this week, I watched the race last night. I've been sick the past couple days, so I was down for the count. All I got to do was watch golf and old truck races yesterday and a lot of Bubble Guppies and Blues Clues. With the kids. So, and was crazy, but feeling a little bit better today. So sorry if I look like shit, but I had to get up and get going today. It made me feel good going into the weekend. Tyler was at GoPro Motorplex trying to take down the fastest lap. So I know you're ready to go.
Oh, I'm ready.
Ready to go. So truck race, we saw this race last year. Tyler actually took down the 10K last year in this race. So we're going to talk about that and that lineup. And you probably watched the video, so hopefully you took home some money too. I know I did that race, but wasn't good enough because you had Spencer Boyd in that bitch and I did not. So
That's right.
that really stunk. But the truck race this week, the first thing I noticed is really strong field. A lot of depth in this field. I feel like we say this every year, but trucks and Xfinity both, like the strength of the field from the pole sitter all the way to last place, it's so damn strong. I mean, usually you have like those 7-8 guys that are just turds or starting parks. But it doesn't seem like it's going that way this year in the trucks. I mean, all the way down, really, all the way down to Timmy Hill are like guys that are pretty damn good. Which is pretty interesting, and guys that, you know, there's some mismatch pricing because the way the starting positions are, but 44 laps, so we got to have our lap leader, but 44 laps, that's not a lot of laps, so that's not a lot of fastest laps, that's not a lot of lead lap points. So place differential this week, I feel like you got to get it where you can and try to have those one or two dominators. And I said it with the Clash video on the Facebook Live that I feel like that's the way you're going to have to go. What are your thoughts looking at this slate on DraftKings?
Yeah, they've it's been interesting, man, this past year. You know, last year 2020 with all the COVID stuff and them doing the whole, pricing or I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess it would be the pricing off of the positions and stuff like that, because NASCAR comes out with the lineups, and then, DK makes their pricing off of it. So,
right.
At least that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just some weird stuff in the pricing. I do agree with you. I think place differential is going to be huge, just as it was last year even. But I think there's obviously those guys that you're going to have if you're going to make the points. I mean, when I look at these lineups, if I can't get 300 points out of the lineup, then it ain't the lineup I need to be picking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the way that I see it. So,
yeah.
There's some picks in this field that I've taken that I wouldn't recommend, but I wouldn't have recommended Spencer Boyd so heavily last year, and look how that There is that. There is that.
Yeah, and that's the truth too, right? When you think about it, I mean, when you, as in John Q. Public, when you don't win a lobby and you go and you scroll up and you look at first place and you see who they had in that lineup, you're just like, well, I wouldn't have picked Natalie Decker anyway, so I guess I didn't have a fucking chance, or I didn't pick Cody Ware, and, or whatever. When you look at it, it's the same with Daytona. I mean, we all should have had more Michael McDowell looking at Fantasy Raceway, our stat engine and things like that. Like, we all should have had more Michael McDowell. But at the end of the day, when you look at a lineup like what won Daytona and you try to put your hard-earned money behind it and loading it into a DraftKings lineup, it's really hard to hit the submit button when you have a lineup like that, because when you're thinking about optimizing and optimal lineups and trying to get a bunch of people into a lineup, sometimes you gotta do your top-down method where you stack a core, stack the guys, flip out one, run it down, flip out one, run it down and stuff like that to get that, because if you're in the ballpark, like me with Cam Davis this week for PGA, I have Cam Davis in just about everything. And, okay, that's the guy I was locking in. And then I did the core four for the write-up. And those are the guys I'm locking in. And if I find something that melds with my core four, and then I can fit that one other stud that I know is going to make the cut or finish top 10 in a race, well, I'm going to run that because I believe in those guys. Like Brett Moffitt and Sheldon Creed this week. Like, I believe those are the plays of this slate. So I'm going to do everything I can to get those guys. And if I find a core four I like, which I think we have, then you really run it. And then you're not just splattering lineups out there into the universe like I did for years. Just like, why are all my bubbles all over the place? Like, where the hell did I go wrong? Like, what the hell's going on? And when you can really hone in on those plays of that slate is what I'm learning is really, really works. And then you stacking it. So when you nail it, you freaking nail it, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, that's what last year, I mean, I think I made like 67 lineups in the truck lobby and 60 of them placed in the money.
Right.
So.
Right. So, so let's look at this here. So 44 laps. I think there are, how many trucks we got this week? 39 trucks. And so 39 places there. And when I went to Fantasy Raceway, I did the past 2 years, Truck Series, Daytona Road Course, Mid-Ohio, and Canadian Tire Motorsports Park to get all the variations there, because there's fast road courses. They're what you would call a short track road course, and Canadian Tire Motorsport has a lot of elevation. You could translate that to banking on Daytona and coming on and off the banking. That is an elevation change if you've never been to Daytona. It's quite the elevation change. So, and I feel like Daytona Road Course, which we've ran for years on video games and been there and seen it and done that, 24 hours of Daytona, stuff like that. It really has a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of Mid-Ohio on the infield. It's a little bit of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park through the bus stops, and it's all of a badass road course. Last year, that winning lineup that you had Sheldon Creed. It had Brett Moffitt. It had, where did it go? Oh, man, sometimes I hate my phone so much. It had Mr. Friesen, had Parker Kligerman in the 75 truck, Lagacy, and Spencer Boyd, like we talked about. But the core of that group for you, Tyler, was Moffitt, Creed, and Friesen. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think that was my grouping last year, my core three, and I kind of built around it. And you know what? I might even say I had more Legacy than Friesen. I was loaded up on Legacy. So
well, he's a stud. So
yeah. I mean, how do you not? It really.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that's the same play this year. I know you and I were kind of talking about lineup structure build and whatnot, and there's a couple of interesting ways that you could look at it this week. But it really seems like if you could get 5 great guys and then one, flyer, if you will, your one Spencer Boyd, then that's probably going to be the way to take down the lobby. So, yeah, I mean, starting from the top, I don't think I've even clicked Austin Hill's name. I can't do it for the price. He's a great road course racer. I mean, if you look at Fantasy Raceway, the stats are there. He finishes top 5s. He could probably win a race. I don't see that. I don't see that not happening. But when I look at who's in this field and how Austin Hill ran here last year, I just think he's a 5th to 8th place truck, and starting 20th at that price tag doesn't get you the points.
And if you just look at driver rating for the past 2 years of all the road courses, what's amazing to me is Brett Moffitt has 140 driver rating, and he's the 4th priced guy on this slate starting 21st. Like,
well, we do got to keep in mind he's not in GMS this year. So
right.
now the truck quality difference, in my opinion, is like a comparable to, let's say GMS is like a Penske and Nice is like a Ganassi.
Yeah.
If we will, so now we know on road courses that driver, experience and skill level can really take a mediocre vehicle and put it in the top 5. So it doesn't scare me. We just got to keep that in mind.
Right.
We got to keep that in mind.
Right. And I believe in Brett.
I believe in Brett.
I mean, it's amazing because he's in a low-end vehicle, low-end team, like you're talking about in Xfinity too. And boy, does he make up that difference. It's really special. And we've seen what Chastain has done in that truck and what others have done in that truck. And I really think, especially if we get some weather, right? It's raining here right now in Sarasota, Florida. And all this stuff's whipping across the state. So if we get some weather, it should be clear by nighttime. But what I'm saying is if we do get weather, I mean, I believe in him. His average position on road courses in a GMS vehicle for the past 2 years is 3.7.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty solid. And I mean, that leaps the field. His worst position on the track the past 2 years is 15.5. So I'll take the worst and hope for the best, baby.
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't want a 15th. But starting 21st, I mean, And again, like you said, to be that highly, rating wise.
Yeah, and to save $700 over Austin Hill,
right,
is huge because you can stack him with the other lock of the week of Sheldon Creed.
Correct.
Driver rating of 119. He's second to Brett Moffitt. And the starting position to me, if he can get past Nemechek, I think he's going to be dangerous. And
actually, when you looked at Fantasy Raceway, did you do 2019, 20, and 18?
I did 19 and 20.
Oh, okay. If you actually do 18 as well, surprisingly, there's a name that pops up into the top 3 right underneath Brett Moffitt.
Well, hang on.
That actually concerns me because I didn't see it before.
It's John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, and look who's 4th.
Yep, Mr. Creed.
Look who's 5th.
Yep. And there's Ben Rhodes. But look how low Austin Hill is.
Look at Peters. Timothy Peters is right behind Creed. Oh, I got him. I got it by driver rating, but I got it organized by driver rating.
Okay.
Oh, no, I got it organized by position. I'm sorry. Average position finished.
Oh.
And Timothy Peters is 4th.
Wow.
Has average finish of 4.
Good for him. Driver rating of 92.7, so he's pretty sharp.
Yeah, I think there was only one.
He made the top 20, which is huge, which is amazing. And what's really interesting about this is the consistency of Brett Moffitt and Sheldon Creed looking at this too.
Oh yeah.
The consistency there is really something special. And I mean, you look at the laps led too. Well, yikes. Brett Moffitt.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Sheldon Creed and Brett Moffitt's numbers across the board, they are green.
Yeah. Which
leave
you with locks there. And I believe in them. I know John Hunter is going to be there because he is just a very, very good driver. But the place differential that you can get from Creed and Moffitt there, you can make John Hunter and Nemechek lineups all you want. But when I lock in Creed and Moffitt, I have $7,400 left over, and that's still pretty juicy for me to get guys that I know are quality. So I appreciate that. If I had to rank the top 4, I would do Creed, Moffitt, Nemechek, Hill.
In this race?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where I would rank them. That's
all right. Well, if we're gonna do that, we'll see what the difference is. I'll go Creed, Moffitt, Garala, Herbst.
No, I was just ranking the top 4 guys in 10K range.
Oh,
Yeah, just ranking
I
those.
was ranking the top 4 guys in the field.
I love it. I love it. All right. Behind Moffitt, the first guy in the 9K range is Ankrum, Gilliland, Friesen. Those boys have some place differential right there. What are your thoughts on them?
Well, I mean, I love Friesen because
Yeah. In that 10K lineup last year.
He treated me pretty well last year.
Yeah.
The thing with Friesen is he started 30th last year. Same spot he's starting this year. He ran like dog shit all last year. He was actually lapped down for like half the race. Those cautions at the end really helped him get back in the game, but he still had to drive the 10th. I mean,
Yeah.
he had to drive there. So I could see him doing it again. I like him a little more this year because now I feel like they've got that truck and the manufacturer more gelled than they did last year.
Yeah.
So I like Friesen probably there. But and mostly for the $400 savings off of Ankrum.
Yeah.
But Ankrum ran top 5, top 10 all last Daytona race. I mean, he's in a GMS car. It's fast. I see Ankrum finishing anywhere from 5th to 8th, and if that's the case, he could get you almost 60 points. He's worth a few stabs. The problem is, if you take Creed, Moffitt, Ankrum, you're in the shitter.
Yeah.
So that's why I really like Friesen there. Save the $400, and then you can kind of do some damage.
Yeah.
Todd Gilliland, you watched the truck race as well. In the beginning, he ran top 10 and had flashes of excellence, but then, I think he sped on pit road or had a pit road issue, and it just went all downhill from there.
Yeah.
I'm a Todd Gilliland truther, and when we get back to Gateway, Todd Gilliland will be in 85% of my lineups. But I've got a few. I just can't go there like I can with Ankrum and Friesen.
Yeah, and if you go Creed, Moffitt, Friesen, 6,700 left. So just a heads up to you guys out there building lineups.
Yeah, I mean, and then you could dive down there and grab your flyer and then get back up into the people you can trust for 40, 50 points.
Yeah.
The one who's really questionable. I should say 2 of the people really questionable on this whole slate is the next 2 people. Sam Mayer. I mean, we all know Sam Mayer can drive.
He's so good.
He can, but here's the thing: I have no evidence of road course experience.
I know.
I couldn't find any on the internet. There was none on Fantasy Raceway, which tells me he hasn't run any. So unless he's been doing a shitload of iRacing and some random racing overseas that we don't know about, I don't know that he's going to finish any better than like 24th.
I know, and I wish it was Parker Kligerman in that truck because that would just be a freaking lock.
I know.
Be a lock. The good news is maybe the baseline's pretty good there for that team. Maybe they unload very well. It's just going to be on Sam Mayer. And at that price, man, I'd rather have a guy I know. I'd rather have a guy I know. I mean, it's $400 to Todd Gilliland. You're saving money by going down here and getting Zane Smith or Riley Herbst, guys that you've seen on Daytona road course and road courses run well. There's better options, but I wouldn't knock you for playing Sam Mayer just based on maximizing your place differential. I mean, if things get silly, diving down in the one on one of those restarts and Sam Mayer makes it through, I mean, those are just gimme putts. So I wouldn't be against you. I've
got a little bit, but I've got way more Ankrum and Friesen.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Which brings us to Eckes. Again, same thing. He had glimpses of amazingness in that race last year. I mean, I think he was running 3rd at one point, and he was up in the top 5 running good, and then shit just hit the fan, and he ended up 12th. With Eckes, I have like 6, maybe.
Yeah. And, one of the silver linings for Eckes is a low-owned play around a bunch of big numbers in that price range. And if you look at Fantasy Raceway, he has 24 quality passes and 39 laps in the top 15, which is pretty interesting, starting 16th. So, a low-owned kind of pivot play. He's going to score a lot more DraftKings points than Ben Rhodes this week. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Because I love Ben Rhodes, but this ain't the week, homie. This ain't the week for Ben Rhodes. Starting first.
Should have had him last week.
Yeah, yeah, especially in them goddamn Yoder. Yeah, it's just not the week for him. I haven't clicked him once. I haven't clicked Crafton once.
Oh,
to be quite honest with you,
Michael,
I haven't clicked Crafton, I know every year, Matt Crafton just decides to just not make a lot of my lineups, and then I play him, and the fate's history. Where are you at with Crafton this week? The crafty veteran.
I mean, listen, man, that I've had. What was that? Kentucky that I won last year, or Kansas, where he was in the winning lineup?
Yeah, our rain delay.
Yeah, and I only had him in like 4.
Our rain delay victory, and you passed me because Matt Crafton passed Zane Smith.
Yep. So here's the deal with Matt Crafton. I love Matt Crafton. I always have. I think he's great as far as a driver goes, his ability goes. He's great for the Truck Series. I have to put him in like 5 to 10 lineups every week because they end up in the money.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you lobbies, like it just happens sometimes.
Yeah. And what's amazing is we all know, if you've been watching trucks or you have any NASCAR knowledge at all, Matt Crafton is good everywhere. Multiple championships, ton of wins. And even when I sort by road courses, he's on this first page.
Yeah.
That's when you're fucking good.
Last year he ran good here, man. He ran top 5 for most of the day, even led a couple laps there for a little bit in the middle. So, starting 9th, it's not – I'll tell you this. This is the one person that I'm playing that you probably shouldn't play, but at the same time, then you're not going to win a lobby. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's Matt Crafton. Take your stabs where you can. If you can fit him in, but don't try to core him.
Yeah. Or you could play the most badass mother trucker ever, Zane Smith, starting 11th. Do you have any Zane Smith?
Go on your tangent first, and then I'll tell you what I think. Go for it.
I will play Zane Smith every race this year, no matter what, any track, no matter anything, because he did not have practice or qualifying last year, and he made the Final 4 and finished second in the points. And that last restart, he almost had Sheldon Creed. He was right there. He just got too low, but that's another story for another day. He's now returning to these tracks. He's returning with GMS. They're going to build on what they did last year. And he was such a badass last year. He was a badass at Daytona until that last lap where Matt Crafton came up and blocked him. Arguably, if you play that back 100 times, he might win a handful of those. I mean, he was coming. You saw the video I sent you. He was freaking coming, man. And it was awesome. And I'm playing Zane Smith. I don't have a lot. I don't have as much as I normally would, but I do have some Zane Smith coming up here. And don't be surprised if he's in the top 5 by the end of the race. Just don't be surprised.
I like Zane Smith. I was very impressed with what he did last year.
On any circle track.
Yeah. And really, if it's just left turns, load up on Zane Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, any track. Zane Smith.
Last year here, I mean, it all started bad. Yeah, first turn, he just completely blew it. Like you said, he had no practice. He's never raced here. So he completely blew the first turn. That's fine. I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah.
After that, it was a struggle the whole fucking race, really.
Yep. Yeah. It was. It was, but you know what? A good practice session for the young stud out of California who is going to be in this sport for a long time.
Oh, yeah. And in GMS equipment,
he's the fucking truth, man. He is so good. He is so good. Those moves he made at Daytona on the last few laps after getting shuffled to the back and then firing back to the front on the outside. I mean, you just, like we talk about all the time, it's just stuff you can't teach, man. Matt Crafton saw him coming so quick, came up and blocked him. That's what a good run he had coming on the outside there.
like I said, I like him. I think starting 11th, if he makes it to 5th, he doesn't pay for himself. So
yeah, especially with Herps right there. My God.
Yeah. Like, here you go. Let's get to Herbst. All right, take Zane Smith if you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
Mike, you'll love you. Take Zane Smith.
Brooks, Koepka, right. Zane Smith in your life for the rest of your life.
Can you parlay Brooks? No. Damn it.
Next week at Atlanta, I will.
There you go. Parlay Brooks and Zane Smith. What's the payout on that son of a bitch?
Oh, man, it'd be good.
All right. Here's the deal with Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst in the Xfinity Series last year at this track looked pretty good until the last 5 laps when he decided to spin out 7 different times. Yeah. I look at Herbst as probably the 3rd or 4th best road course talent in the field. And the reason why I say that is because I know for a fact last year he did a lot of work on his road course program. Him and Brandon Jones both. They were working with the Toyota. Who's that factory driver for Toyota? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were working with a road course guy, and they looked really great in the Xfinity Series last year in their road course races. And I can't look past it here. Starting 25th at $8,500.
Yeah.
DGR equipment.
Yeah.
Which is decent. It's nothing to be,
Yeah. It's race-winning equipment.
But if Haley Deegan can finish 17th at fucking Kansas in a DGR truck, I don't see why he can't finish top 5 at a road course in that truck.
Yeah, at a road course that he's ran, road course that he's been around, and in a truck series that there's no learning curve. He's been there. He's done that in that 18 truck. He's plenty good, man. And what you notice with guys that go up to higher levels and come back down, they really do well. It doesn't matter because you faced better people in tougher situations in longer races. He can do it, man. And I like that he's running this race. I think it's really cool, and I think it's smart of Ford to get him in this truck because he is really good, man. He's really good. He's very underrated and went through a lot of shit last year that I think he'll rise above this year. And Stuart Haas and Ford umbrella and that whole realm. Parker Chase after Riley, one of the best names in the field for a race car driver. We did our homework on him. The guy is really, really good. Young talent, is making his transition over to full body race cars. Ran in 24 hours at Daytona, has won Formula 5 Cups, and he's only 21 years old. So let that sink in and write that down for the future, especially if you get some rain. He ran a lot in Europe, raced a lot of touring series across that. Doesn't matter if it's snowing, lightning, rain, they're running. We just don't know. There's not a lot we know, but what we do know, he's making his transition, and he's an established road course racer. And has ran the 24 hours at Daytona, so he knows the course.
Yeah, and that's key. We've seen guys, that have talent from other series jump over to this series and do decently well. I don't see any difference here. Like you said, he's got a lot of road experience, and that's enough for me to at least take some stabs.
Yeah.
I can't fully lay my wallet on him because, again, it's his first race, and we can make some mistakes, it being your first race. But I didn't overlook him. I have enough, and I think everyone should. You should at least – if you're mass entering, there's no reason why not to fit him in some lineups.
Yeah, and one thing I would be scared of with him is green flag pit stops. That's something you can't teach someone. And with no practice, he can't get on pit road and work on, all that stuff. And communication. Chandler Smith, 8,100, start 8th. Boy, that's like if you were to place an over-under on where he would finish, that's probably right where that over-under would be. That seems pretty perfect. I haven't touched it.
I have none of them.
I haven't touched it. But you should touch this next guy, not just because he's a good-looking man, but because he ran really, really good here. That is Rafael Lessard. Got his big win, monkey off his back last year, made the playoffs. GMS equipment
GMS
equipment. So that is a complete lateral, if not positive, move over from KTM in the Truck Series. Really like Rafael Lessard. Feels like a lock of the week with the low-owned pivot play of Rafael Lessard.
You know what? And I really hope he is. I hope with him starting 12th, I hope everybody just is like, nope, I'm not doing it, because he could easily go out there and win. He is looking at the tapes from last year. He is the only person that could have any chance at running with Moffitt and Creed.
Yeah, he ran really well. A lot of car control. I did notice a few guys on Twitter kind of pumping up the Lessard, so don't be surprised if he's 15-16% owned. But he still will probably be in a winning lineup because I think he gets a podium here.
I mean, if he finishes third, that's like 52 points out of a guy that's 8,000. I'm all over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Lessard. He's worth coring, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is a very good questionable core.
Yeah. Yep. Which leads us to
I really hope that his position start keeps people off of him, because I love it.
You look at the names right below him, and that's why I'm thinking people are going to see value and place differential there. But I don't see any of those guys beating Rafael Lessard by the end of the race. They might get him if they have really good races, but.
Well, so Sauter, I feel bad for Sauter. I wasn't a big fan of Sauter. I think he's a dick. I think he's like he just kind of thinks like everything should get handed to him, which is kind of like how Mark Truex Jr. is starting to get, but that's a whole nother different story. So Sauter, he could drive, man. I feel really bad for him last year because he just couldn't catch a fucking break, man. Like, and I was on that Sauter train. I mean, I was even on him at Texas when he was leading and took out Friesen. That completely screwed my two lineups that were leading the lobby.
Yeah. Or how about Martinsville leading that thing and freaking left rear tire? Like, of course.
I had him then too.
So annoying.
So I have a few Sauters in the 50-cent lobby. I think Sauter finishes 15th to 20th and doesn't do a whole lot for us. So I don't hope
that's the case.
I don't have much of them. Peters is an interesting play.
Yeah, veteran.
We kind of talked about that earlier. I don't know the quality of the equipment, which concerns me. But I mean, the dude has like 400 some odd truck races. I don't know what it is. But
I know. And it shouldn't surprise anyone that he ran well in the truck race at the Super Speedway last week, because if you look at those stats, he's a great plate racer.
Yes.
Our another soft guy in my heart, Derek Kraus, 31st. Where are you at with Derek Kraus? Because that's what I'm more interested in. Is where you're at with it. Because I'm really on the fence. Like, is it the chalk you don't want to eat this week, or is it guy you're going to have in 20% just to cover your ass?
I'm right there with you, dude. I took him in the 50-cent lobby. I haven't put him in the big lobby yet, any lineups. Last year, I mean, again, he didn't have any practice here. He went out there. I think he wrecked like 3 times, if I remember correctly. But at the end of the race, before he wrecked the last time, I think he was running like 17th or something with a fucked up truck. So yeah. Could he go out there and finish? You know what? I made my own little finish, the top 30 for this race.
Oh.
And I put Kraus at 13th. I don't know why. It must have been, I don't know. I must have been out of my mind or drinking the good Budweiser.
Oh, hey. That makes me feel pretty good.
Well, then I look back at it, and I've got people behind him, such as like Todd Gilliland, Mayer, your boy Zane Smith, Sauter. So those guys could theoretically beat him. So let's say he finishes 18th or 19th. Did that get you the points you need?
Not really.
Right. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I think he's almost a chalk you don't want to eat. I think.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I'm I'm happy with that.
And I'll give you a bigger reason why in two people.
Okay. All right. Well, that brings us to Jet Nolan,
Nolan.
who you might not know a lot about. So let me tell you. He runs super late models for Mike Cope and Anthony Campy, who are guys that are local to us here, switching over to the 44 Nice Motorsports truck for this year on a part-time basis. The biggest thing you need to understand about Jet Nolan is that he is the 2020 Trans Am Series 2 Rookie of the Year, which if you're not familiar with Trans Am cars, they are the most bad. They are what NASCAR should probably look like. They're really, really cool. And he ran in the K&N Pro Series, and he runs Stadium Super Trucks, which is pretty neat. So kind of a jack of all trades there. But making a debut start in a truck series that's ultra competitive. He's very much like our boy up there. God damn it.
Chase.
Yeah, he's really much like Parker Chase, man. I can't sit here and stand on my soapbox and preach Jet Nolan because he can go out there and miss a shift and blow it up in lap one. You can take a couple stabs at him. The starting spot is pretty damn juicy. But if you want to go with someone more experienced like Tanner Gray, who's ran the trucks all last year and is back with his team and running again and back at Daytona, that's probably the safer play there. That's kind of where I'm at in the beginning of series, especially in a series full of rookies and young guys. Tanner Gray's not a rookie, but he is a young guy, and he knows his truck now. He's been there, he's done that. This is his year to prove himself and establish himself in the NASCAR world.
Yeah, as far as Jet Nolan goes, you're right. He does have that Trans Am experience, which is
and a great name.
Yeah, the Trans Am series. And those aren't easy cars to drive. So
No.
it does that sparks my interest. It makes me want to take him, and I did in the 50-cent lobby. I haven't put him in the big lobby yet, but yeah, taking stabs there is definitely okay. With the starting spot and the price. My only concern is the equipment. Again, is like the B or C truck at Nice.
Yeah.
Which is like, the DGR of NASCAR. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I'm trying to compare it. Again, I think drivers could overcome equipment at these tracks, but how much experience does he have in these trucks? None. So
right.
I've got my stabs. If you're not mass entering, I wouldn't take him. But if you're mass entering, go for it. I mean, that's your leverage play. That's definitely. I completely agree with Tanner Gray. Tanner Gray over Derek Kraus and Jet Nolan simply because last year here he kept his nose clean. He ran like 15th to 20th all day, and he finished 15th.
Yeah.
So do that again.
Play.
Yeah, do that again. Finish 15th again at $7,200. We'll have 50 points. I'm about it. Let's do it.
Yeah, he's not going to light the world on fire, but at least you're getting a guy who is established and ran this course last year. Yep. And speaking of established, I know you're on that Gralla train. A hell of a ton of talent in Kaz Gralla, running all three series and really, really making a name for himself. And in a truck series, starting 24th, you got to like Kaz Gralla this week, huh?
Yeah, I mean, when Kaz Gralla really set himself in the limelight was last year at this track when Austin Dillon had COVID, and he started in that number 3 car. Now, mind you, he was very new to like Xfinity racing even at that point, and he went out there in RCR equipment, Austin Dillon's car, and ran 7th. He didn't finish 7th.
Right.
He ran 7th.
Right.
Like ran 13th to 7th all day in the Cup Series that has way better road course racers.
Yeah.
Way better road course racers.
Yep.
Than this field. So starting 24th, $7,100 is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I don't know who decided that, but I'm on it. And I hope other people aren't, obviously, but I think he's going to be a very highly owned play. But how do you not? I mean, the dude, he, like I said earlier in the video, I think he's the third or fourth best talent in the field. So,
yeah. And if you go Creed, Gralla, Gray, Moffitt, that leaves you 7,650. Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Go crazy right there. Just absolutely let it eat. Kind of getting down in the craziness here. Chase Purdy. You got any Chase Purdy?
I've got like 2 in my GMS stack lineups, and that's about it.
All right. But how about our boy Corey Roper last week? He almost won that damn thing.
I know. I'm upset.
Can't touch him starting 6th.
No, can't touch him. Can't touch Truex.
No.
I've got 1 Deegan, just so that way, if he finishes 12th for whatever reason, I'm there.
God bless Deegan.
Go take it.
The more the year goes on, I think she'll creep more and more into our lineups because I do think she does have talent, but I do want to see it. But I think she'll be around a long time too. Dawson Cram, 38th. You got any Cram up in your Cram?
Got no Cram in the jam.
Austin Wayne Self, I don't think he finishes better than 14th.
He's going to finish right there. He's going to finish 13th to 15th, so you can't take him.
All right, I'll take the over. Jason White, Rome Brothers Racing, 18th. I don't see it there. How about our man? Just real quick, Fogelman. Boy, he was really, really running well last week in the super speedway race. I hated to see him wreck and wrecked a lot of my lineups. Starting 28th, I'm going to have a few. I like Tate Fogelman. I think he's a cool dude. I think he's pretty damn good.
So last year when I had Spencer Boyd, he started 24th and finished 17th, and he was in a young motorsports truck.
Yeah, I like Tate Fogelman, man.
Tate Fogelman is starting 28th and finished like 20th last year in a Young's motorsports truck. So this could be the Spencer Boyd of the week.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this lineup right here I just built while we were talking Creed, Fogelman, Friesen, Gralla, Gray, Moffitt. Yeah, see ya making me $1,000.
Yeah, right there.
I like that.
Right there. So I am concerned a little bit that there's better plays down below him that allow you to get more up in the money.
Yeah.
There's only 2 really, but I will have some Fogelman. It's definitely
Lawless Allen, another great racing name. Starting shotgun on the field. I don't know anything about Lawless Allen.
I know enough about the truck to know that it's a pile of shit and I won't be there.
All right. Hocevar, man, I wish you were starting anywhere above 3rd. You talk about a low-owned, low-budget salary cap saver. Is there any way he finishes top 5?
No.
Okay. Top 10?
Nope.
Damn it. Okay.
Did you watch that truck race last year? He spun out like 9 times.
I know, but he's kicking ass and working on his road course racing. I will tell you this, though. Hey, he had the 4th fastest time at GoPro this week. Not worth anything to you. I mean, what's Hocevar's ownership this week, you think? 2?
Yeah.
2%?
Yeah.
Rohrbaugh. Hocevar or Rohrbaugh? Gun to your head, who would you start?
Camden Murphy.
Timmy Hill.
You know what? Yeah, these are plays down low for sure. Timmy Hill and Camden Murphy.
Okay.
I even took a few stabs at Norm Benning just because it allowed me to get some stupidly sick stacks.
Yeah. If you go Timmy Hill and Camden Murphy, that leaves you $10,000 for the rest, which you can pretty much go crazy with. So
yeah, I did make a few crazy lineups like that, but I recommend taking one or the other. Camden Murphy, we know a little bit about him. He has run the trucks and stuff before Xfinity. They've been in mostly start and park equipment. He's in Joe Nemechek's 8 truck. That's really good equipment, in my opinion, especially for the price tag. I do have one that I found on Fantasy Raceway. He did run motorsports, the Canadian Canadian Motorsport Tire Motorsports Park. There we
Okay.
go. He ran it in 2017 or 16, if I'm correct.
Okay.
And he finished. I think he finished 22nd. So do that again, and we're fucking in. We're in, dude. Like, do that again. Get me 40 fucking points, and we're taking the money home.
Yeah.
All.
Yeah.
So I love Camden Murphy down here, but Timmy Hill. Last year here, Tyler drove that truck, and he finished 17th.
Right.
I have no information on Timmy Hill on a road course. I looked it up. I used Fantasy Raceway. I went to driver averages. I mean, I tried to find where he's got any sort of road course experience other than when he's in a shitty car and cup. Right. And I can't find any. So
all right. Well, here's my synopsis on Timmy Hill. Runs all 3 series whenever he can. I know he has car control. I know he can downshift. I know he can brake, and I know he can stay out of trouble. So pending any mechanical failures, pending anything that's out of his control, I know Timmy Hill's not going to lose control of his vehicle and put himself in a bad spot. So if you want to open things up top and have him as your lone guy that, you know, can do it. I don't think he finishes worse than 34th. I don't think he finishes worse than 30th. So, you know, it just depends. But you don't have to go this low unless you really want to, because you can do Gralla and those guys and kind of build your way up there. But if Camden Murphy, if that Nemco truck can stay all together, Camden Murphy will probably beat Timmy Hill.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
So that right there, because Camden Murphy might be getting on it and getting after it a little bit more than Timmy Hill, because Timmy Hill probably has to run that truck 6 more times this year.
Well, right, and he's a truck. Right, it's his truck. He's an owner, so, he's not gonna put it in any position that's gonna risk it.
I don't think he will, and he rarely ever does. If it rains, I might like Hill. If it's a wet racetrack, I might like Hill over Murphy, but I can't control that. So I'll look at what I got, and Camden Murphy will get 3 more points than Timmy Hill if they finish back-to-back of each other. So,
yeah, I will say Timmy Hill the truck is probably like a 15th to 20th place truck, and I would put Timmy Hill on a circle track. I would put Timmy Hill between 12th and 15th as a driver in this field. So
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, if he could get there, great. You know, I would love to see it, but I show me. You got to show me.
Yeah.
I don't have any road course, you know, backing of yours to prove that to me.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I'm not touching anyone else down there. So.
No, I'm not either.
So I'm not.
I have one Spencer Boyd because I have to.
Yeah, he's your boy. He's your boy. So, all right. Well, let's switch gears then. Let's switch over to Xfinity Series, because once again, I hate the pricing over here, but I'll enjoy the hell out of NASCAR and I'm playing it. So, you can't take it out of me. And, you know, whatever. And at the top are your usual suspects and pretty much the Chase Elliott and Martin Truex of the road course racing here lately in the Xfinity Series. There's no Chase Briscoe this year to kind of pivot off of. The Xfinity race is on the same track as the trucks and the same track they ran last year, 52 laps. So a little bit more laps, 8 more laps, about 20 and a half more miles of racing. Allmendinger is at the top of the peak this week at 10,900, starting 6th, with Cindric right below him. Are you stacking those guys? Are you fading one of those guys? Are you planting your flag in the ground? Where's Tyler at with Xfinity this week?
Well, I've made 95 lineups on Xfinity and haven't put Cindric or Allmendinger in any of them.
Wow, God bless you. So you're going the place differential route.
I mean, dude, when you look at this, like, all right, so let's just take Allmendinger and Cindric out of the equation right now.
All right, hang on. Let me scroll up and get them out. So that puts Allgaier at the top of the heap starting 25th.
Which I think he's way overpriced, but could easily drive to the top 5 and get you points.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's got 100 on all the road course races the past 2 years. He has a 103.4 driver rating. And comparative to the guys in the field, Chase Briscoe's not in the race. Andy Lally is. Ryan Blaney not in the race. Christopher Bell not in the race. And above them, so this based on driver rating, Cindric, Allmendinger, Lally, Allgaier. So Allgaier's right there, man, with his driver rating on these road course races.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. I have some Allgaier. I think my favorite play on the slate is Gregson.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the
he's
dude
right there.
last year,
He's right there because it goes Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, who's not in the field, and Noah Gragson.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, I heard a stat when I was watching back the Daytona race that Noah Gragson has had like 9 or 10 top 10 finishes at road courses.
Sounds like the lock of the week.
Right. And not only that, but last year he was leading this race, pasted it in the tires.
I know.
Fucked the whole left side of the car up, and then drove back through the field and finished third.
Yeah.
I mean, he's starting 26th and is not the highest, most expensive person on the slate. Why not?
And another great team, another great veteran in this series. And
if it makes you feel better, he's at GoPro Motorplex like 6 times a week. So
yeah, it definitely makes me feel better. So is it Gregson Haley stacks? Because Haley's no slouch at these road courses either.
He didn't finish either road course race last year, though.
I know, but he ran well.
So yes, I do have some Gregson Haley stacks.
But Gregson over all these guys here.
Oh yeah, I've got some Gregson, Lally, Brandon Jones stacks that'll make your pecker hard.
Yeah, well, how do you not, right? Let's talk. All right, let's talk about this here because this kind of gets juicy. Andy Lally, past 2 years, driver rating of 109. He has got a shit ton of greens here across the board on our stat model. Probably a guy that, unless you're a sharp and you follow this sport, are gonna not pay attention to. Especially at this price range. This stack right here of Gregson, Jones, and Lally has major upside of place differential and leaves you with $7,100 that you can really work with here.
Yeah, I love that. And my biggest thing here is, let's be realistic. Austin Cindric is probably going to lead majority of the laps and win the race. Okay, fair enough. Last year he did the same thing, and he started first. Hold on, let me make sure I think he started first and finished first.
Yeah, but the points, right? Is that what you're getting at here? Is
so that's what I'm getting at. So I know Chase Briscoe was in the field, okay, and Chase Briscoe led a good amount of those laps, keeping them away from
Cindric led 21 laps and got you 58 points.
Right. So this is what I think about. If something happens to Cindric where he doesn't lead every single lap, which chances are he's not going to, the most points I see him getting is 60 points. So if he can only get 60 points, but I could take Gregson, Lally, and Brandon Jones and get 60 plus out of all 3 of them and have more money left over, why would I not?
Right. Yeah, why would you not? And Andy Lally, if you're not familiar with Andy Lally, veteran, established road course racer.
All you need to know about Andy Lally is click him.
Click him. Yeah, look it up. I mean, he's so good. Brandon Jones, lock of the week, starting 39th. That dude is a hell of a road course racer. And starting 39th, no-brainer, okay? No-brainer. If you want to fade him, God bless you, because he's going to be in the top 10. LeBay, I really like LeBay too. I really, really like LeBay.
Well, I would say just to shorten this up a little bit here on us, I would say from Brandon Jones to Riley Herbst, load that section.
Yeah.
Load the fuck out of it.
Miguel Paludo, 6-time Porsche Carrera GT champion. Especially if it rains, boy, you better have Miguel Paludo in your goddamn lineup. Clemens has won on a road course. Buford, I love Buford. It's very expensive for Buford, but yeah, you're right. And Riley Herbst again. You're gonna witness Riley Herbst tonight turn a lot of heads, which is gonna drive ownership probably for tomorrow if the guys are playing all this. But get it in because Riley Herbst is really good. I'm with you there. That whole slate right there, just stack and dack and get her done.
Right. I mean, and then look at Annette, dude. He's going to finish 10th.
I know. And look where he's priced. And he's 700 more than he usually is. But that's because his place differential and where he's starting.
Yeah, but he's not starting 11th and finishing 10th like he normally does.
Right. Yeah, Riley Herbst. Sieg, I'm okay not taking any Sieg. I haven't seen Sieg on any of these things, Pop. Have you?
The only thing that I noticed, and this was late last night at about 4 a.m. when I was looking at shit because I had nothing else to do because I couldn't sleep.
God bless you.
I noticed that Ryan Sieg last year actually finished 10th at the Daytona Road Course.
I didn't see. Why didn't that pop on my thing? I must have overlooked it.
He finished 10th last year. Now, I will say, other than that, he pretty much is wrecked at every single road course. So. If you want to take your stabs off of a one 10th place finish, go for it. But I'm not there.
I'm fading Myatt Snyder. I don't trust it. But actually, no. Let me take the. I'm. Hang on. Myatt Snyder ran the Canadian NASCAR series and ran really good. Sleeper low end pivot play. I'm sorry, I had him mixed up with someone else, but he ran. The Canadian NASCAR series, they run a lot of road courses, but he's starting 8th. So he's not going to get you the points that these other guys are going to get. But just don't be shocked if he's in the top 5. I just have to put that disclaimer out there. Pardis, if you follow We Live Fantasy for a long time, you'll see that video I shared to our Facebook page of him running Mazda MX-5 Cups at Daytona. I'm not lying to you. He passed 30 cars in 4 laps.
I have him in like a good 35%.
Yeah, Pardis is a name that you should get to know on road courses.
Absolutely.
Him and Myatt Snyder both have road course racing backgrounds. Snyder, you've noticed him a lot more in ovals lately, but he did take that year off after he ran the 13 truck for Thor Sport and ran the Canadian Cascar or whatever the hell it is up there. Our boy Brandon Brown, considering you almost beat him the other day, I'm going to go ahead and fade him.
Listen, first of all, let's clarify. I went up to GoPro the other day. I think it was Wednesday night. Brandon met me up there. We ran one race together, and there's a reason why he's in NASCAR, dude. He's good, man. We ran bumper to bumper the whole time. I passed him. We crossed me over. He ended up beating me to the line. If he was starting anywhere beyond 15th, I would load up because I think he could easily finish top 10. But
I was gonna say 14th would probably.
Yeah, but starting 7th, I can't do it. But just know, for those of you watching, Brandon Brown's the fucking truth. He's a good dude. Like, get on the Brandon Brown train.
Yeah, Brandon Brown train.
Yeah, dude. Him and his dad own that team. They bust their fucking ass. They are a low budget team, and they hustle, man. They fucking hustle. So let's go, Brandon Brown. I would love nothing more than to see you win, but I can't be on you this week. Sorry about it.
Josh Williams, another local guy to us here, down in Florida. Starting 22nd. He actually sneaky. But I think there's a lot of guys that are going to outpoint him this week.
Yeah.
Ryan Vargas, he's starting too high for me for 12th. Gray Galding, I haven't clicked Gray Galding.
Can't do it.
Landon Castle, I love Landon, but there's a lot of points to be had other places.
Give me Landon Castle at a circle track starting 14th at $6,700, and I will put him in every single lineup.
Yeah, next week starts 18th, and he'll be right there. So
I love you. Listen, we are going to make some fucking money off Landon Castle.
I was making a lot of money last week in the Daytona race with Landon Castle, and I saw it all disappear. But we were there.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, he's either going to put it in the grass and get stuck or finish 20th. What say you?
Well, just in case he finishes 20th, I got some.
Yep. Yeah, Tommy Joe.
Nope.
I haven't touched Tommy Joe. Our boy Brett Moffitt starting on the pole, buddy. If he was starting anywhere but first,
I would have him.
I'd have our boy Brett Moffitt. Cody Ware. If you're unfamiliar with Cody Ware, another great guy. He was part of our NASCAR shit posting group for a very long time. I got to communicate with Cody Ware. I follow Cody Ware. He runs a lot of road course racing now. He's begging for rain on Twitter. He is just praying for rain, because he'll really shine because he doesn't have the equipment to go up there and dice it up for the lead. But he is a good road course racer, surprisingly. So just don't go crazy. But if you're down here and need a budget saver.
Last year he started 38th at the Roval when it rained, pissed rain.
Yeah.
He finished 7th.
That's why he's begging for rain, because he can drive in the rain. He drives prototype cars for Rick Ware Racing, and he raced the Rolex 24. So good dude. I
got him.
I'll be pulling for him. I'm definitely gonna have a lot more Cody Ware than I am Jeb Burton.
That's for sure.
Oh, speaking of guys, we didn't talk about Harrison Burton. Definitely stepped up the road course racing game, Harrison Burton. But starting fourth does kind of scare me. I think he's got to lead laps, and I don't think he gets past Allmendinger and Cindric.
No, I think he, Listen, Harrison Burton is a great driver. And bringing up the GoPro thing again, I ran against Harrison Burton and Blake Conk a couple weeks ago, and they know how to run, man. I cut it up with them for 10 laps. We traded spots probably 15 times, and I actually ran the same time as Burton. So I love Burton. I think he's got car control. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the series. I think he finished his top 5 this week, but unfortunately starting fourth, he don't get you the points.
Right. And then below Weatherman, I'll get your thoughts on Weatherman for a second, but I want to see if this aligns with where your brain's at. Below him, I only have Stephen Light, and I took a couple darts at Natalie Decker because of her road course racing, and it scares me. I know she can wad it up in turn 1 right in the middle of the field there, but I've also seen her win at Circuit of the America in an Audi R8 prototype, or not a GT class kind of car. So where are you at with the guys Weatherman down?
All right, so Weatherman, I would love to take if he was starting anywhere beyond 25th.
Yeah,
but he's not. Same with Little. If Little was back there, I would take him. I can't touch Colby Howard at all. I don't care what his starting spot is. He is not the guy on a road course. Stephen Light. Okay, so here's the deal with Stephen Light. Stephen Light last year ran for MBM Motorsports most of the year. I think he did do a couple stints with the Hattori and the 61, which is what he's running this week. The dude, he could finish 20th. He could.
I know.
He could easily finish 20th. So I've got me a good amount of Light. I'm probably going to take more as I build more lineups.
I like him, man. I like Stephen like him.
You Stephen like him? I really though have leaned more towards Bailey Curry.
Wow. All right.
Simply because Bailey Curry proved that he could finish in the low 20s, and actually he finished 14th here last year. So I like Bailey Curry to save the $500 off of Light. I know he's starting 3 spots better than Light, but I also think he's got the potential to finish 3 spots or better than Light.
Okay.
I think. Now, again, anything could happen. I like Stephen Light. I'm going to have more Stephen Lights, but I have more Currys at the moment.
Okay. Okay. I can get on board with that.
So, and I also took a few stabs at Ty Gibbs.
I did too. Only a few.
There's one reason why. There's only one reason.
Okay. Let's hear it.
The reason why is because last year when I was at Daytona and I was sitting in the infield and I was watching that chicane in the ARCA race, that motherfucker, dude, was driving 6 car lengths further into that corner than every other guy out there.
Wow.
So I just think that if he could do that again, maybe he could finish like 18th and salvage the points, and you could really stack the top if you take him.
Yeah. All right. I can get behind that.
But I wouldn't go crazy.
All right. So you are on the train of fading the top two guys and running that down, and you are going place differential.
Yeah. My next 50 lineups are going to be Cindric, but
okay.
I would say I'm going to be about a third Cindric stacks and then 2/3.
So if you were to go Cindric, are you maximizing place differential after that to make up the difference of him getting you 58 points? Or are you going to try to go pick 1, 2, 3 and try to get it that way?
I'm trying to make a dummy lineup real quick to tell you what I'm at.
Because I'll tell you, I made a few, and you're not saving much going Cindric over Allmendinger, so I think you can go either which way you want there. I went Cindric light, which left me 84.
Yeah, if you go Cindric, Bailey, Curry, you get even more.
Yeah, you can. I went Cindric light, Cody Ware. So I'm trying to maximize that to get me back into a realm where I can get it again, which then got me Brandon Jones. Okay, so that right now is Cindric, Jones, light, Ware, and that leaves me 92.50. I'm gonna pay up and put Noah Gragson in there, and that leaves me 8,200 to get Miguel Paludo, Riley Herbst, Ryan Sieg.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And then you can even run that down to Pardis too, because our boy can get her done.
That's right.
So right there is Cindric second, Gragson 26, Brennan Jones 39th, Stephen Light, Miguel Paludo, Cody Ware. So that is a core group of really good road course racing guys that I'm not really going to worry about too much.
Right.
I like
that.
No,
I don't hate that. And here's the deal with my Cindric fade. It's not by any means it's not the smartest thing to do. I'm not
But you know what? Fading Tom Brady wasn't that smart, and we did that. So
fading Tom Brady was the dumbest thing I've ever done too, but it won me a lobby. So
that's right.
I would make sure to have your Cindric lineups. I don't like Allmendinger at all. I don't think I'll have one Allmendinger.
Wow. Honestly. All right.
Honestly, I just don't see it, man. I watched that race.
He's a Wallmendinger?
What's that?
You think he's going to Wallmendinger?
No, I don't think he's going to Wallmendinger. I think I just if he was starting like anywhere 15th and beyond, I would take him at that price tag because then you know he's going to get you the points to pay himself off. But starting 6th, it's kind of the same thing as Cindric. If he doesn't go lead all the fucking laps,
right,
he ain't going to get you 60 points. He's not going to do it.
Right.
So why am I going to take a guy that's $11,000 that can't get me 60 points when I could take a guy that's $9,000 that could get me 70? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me to take him. Now, I could be entirely wrong, and he could go out there and lead every fucking lap and win the race, and I'll lose all my money. That's fine.
Yeah.
But realistically, I don't see it in that colleague car. The colleague cars have not been as good as they need to be to win these type of road course races. They are good enough to run top 5, and that's what he did last year. But he couldn't keep up with Cindric and Briscoe and them. He couldn't even. And actually, Gragson was running better than him at the end of the race with a wrecked car. So,
yeah,
I'm fading him. I hope everyone else eats the shit out of that chalk, and I'm going elsewhere.
Yeah, hey, you got to plant your flag somewhere.
I mean, live by the sword, die by it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So that's where I'm at. Again, don't forget Cindric. I think Cindric's going to be 60% owned. I'll have 30% ownership. And be just fine, I think.
Yeah, I like it. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Let us know how you do.
Hell yeah.
And we'll have a cup video for you as well, but just know it's Martin Truex Jr. gonna win that race. And it's gonna be great. And it's gonna be great. I'm picking him in all my season longs and suicides and one and dones, and I'm doing it. Everyone can think Denny and Chase had the fastest car last week. That's fine.
Let them. Let them.
Fine. Martin Truex had them fucking covered, okay? Like it wasn't.
Oh, just so you know, dude, they fixed the bus stop in the back, so Truex ain't going to spin out.
Just for him.
Just for him. Because he was bitching. Because fucking Truex was bitching.
He's bitching. I know.
Except he got 39 other motherfuckers that drove through there every fucking lap, you dumb dick.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So hope you guys have a good weekend. We will have a cup video for you. So stay tuned.
Yeah, good luck, y'all. Let us know how you do.
All right. Peace out.